From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for April 25th, 2016. I hope you had a great weekend and are ready to get started trading for this week. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a general overview of each of the U.S. currency pairs in anticipation of this week's trading. And I'm going to highlight some of the key levels that we'll be looking for potential entry and exit opportunities. Looking at today's news calendar for the U.S. session, it's relatively quiet, but we do have some key events this week that could spur on some market movement, and you'll want to make note of those on your own financial calendar. So as we take a look at the market today, we're going to start here on the USDCHF, the US dollar versus the Swiss franc. Over the past several weeks in our live trade room, we've been studying this falling channel. The two red trend lines that you see here on the chart is somewhat of a falling trend range, if you will. There's been 3 times now where it touched the bottom of the trend range and bounced back up. There's been 3 times where it touched the top and bounced down. Right now, we're on the up phase within the pattern of the trend. It's starting to move up over the past couple of weeks from the bottom down here into the 9,500 level. It's moving up now into the 97. It's been a very profitable currency pair for us over the past couple of weeks. Last week taking buys down here right around the 9,600 level and able to capture a significant amount of profit as it moved back up towards the 9,800 level. So really good currency pair for us last week for the US franc. Let's begin to zoom it in a little bit. We can see the market moving higher, pushing above this yellow shaded area, above the 97.20, 97.50 level. If you look back to the left, we've seen support here before, so we'll be watching for continued support right around the 97.20 to 50 level in that yellow shaded area this week. If it stays above there, we look for the continuation of the pattern, maybe a move back up towards the top of the trend channel all the way into the upper 9800s becomes an opportunity for us. You can see the 100 period simple moving average here also up here towards the top of our long-term channel. Let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. We see it moving back a little bit today, coming off the resistance highs from last week. I probably would move around that blue trend line just a little bit to accommodate the fact that we've seen the rising lows here, just putting it at this low. We could see a little bit of a pullback here for the US franc, even as deep as the blue shaded area. So what we're watching for today, and really what we're going to be watching for this week, is the market to establish a barrier of support, sit there for a little while, and then maybe give us an opportunity for a new buy scenario here for this currency pair as we took down here into the 96s. So we're looking for a new buy scenario. The trend direction and momentum has been up for the past couple of weeks, looking for a new buy scenario. Don't think that right now is a good opportunity, but we'll be looking for continued support, yellow zone or blue zone, and then a new scenario for buying on the US franc this week. Much like that, over here on the EURUSD, the euro versus the US dollar, just the opposite though. We've been focusing on selling the euro dollar over the past couple of weeks from the resistance highs. This is actually the weekly time frame, and this is something we've been studying in the live trade room quite a lot over the recent weeks. The previous downtrend, 2014, by the way, was a significant downtrend on the left-hand side of the chart. Then the beginning of 2015, we've been inside this range. The market's been significantly ranging over the past several months inside this red box. Most importantly, the top of that box, 1.1400, where the market's continued to find resistance down to the daily time frame. There's that red box on the chart, and you can see we have found resistance into the green zone, 1.1400 for the past several weeks, and nothing really new today, is there? It's still underneath there. So the closer it gets to 114, I'm very discouraged about going long and buying this currency pair. What mostly I'm looking for now are clues to and evidence of resistance and possible reversal evidence for this to go back down. The only real reason I'll begin focusing back to the upside is A, it goes all the way down maybe towards the bottom of the trend range, or breaks above the 1.1400 level. It would have to get above there before I would look for a new buy scenario. So it has to go down significantly for us to buy it, or break through the resistance for us to buy it. For the time being, I'm going to focus on going short at significant resistance levels. While we're here on the daily time frame, you look back here, the orange shaded area, 113 to 113.30, you see resistance here and resistance here. So that's our evidence that we're looking for today. If we're going to sell this and go short again, I would actually like to see it come back up closer towards the 113 level for the euro dollar. 4-hour time frame, you see a little bit of headway higher today, right about 1.1250. It is significant area right here, 1250, 1255. You see the supports back here on the left-hand side. So I'm cautious about going short at the current moment because we're a little bit above that resistance high. I think the better opportunity, at least for the day today, and maybe early on this week to go short would be back up here towards the orange shaded area. Even if you take just a quick trend line and cap out our resistance highs here like this, the last two resistance highs, that would be at least closer towards the orange shaded area before you come close to that red trend line. So interesting there. I don't think right now is a good time to go short, but we'll be looking for that as we go through our week this week for the euro dollar. Moving on over to the GBPUSD, significant bump higher today. Overall, we have been in a long-term downtrend, but over the past few weeks, we've seen a little bit of a rise in the lows along this blue trend line down here at the very bottom. We've been in a range even here for this currency pair, the red box down at the bottom. Let's zoom it in a little bit here on the daily time frame. There's that red box. You can see the blue shaded area. We've been discussing the support, resistance inside that blue shaded area all along. Even last week, look at the resistance you had in the blue zone. Had a sell opportunity last week that was profitable as well here for the pound dollar underneath the 1.4400 level. Now this week we significantly opened above 144 and now pressuring the 145.15 level, the orange zone. Just follow it back in time. Look what happened here the last time. Let me just put a little black X right here. Look what happened the last time we touched 145.15 or so. It reversed and went back down in the other direction. So don't get too hyped up about this big blue candle that's in the gap higher today, because we're testing a significant resistance high that has been able to repel the market before. Even going back further, where the black box is on the left-hand side of the chart, the orange shaded area, you see resistance into there. So for the day today, this is not a good opportunity to go long. I know it's going up right now, not a good opportunity to go long, because history tells us that this is a significant resistance into the low 45s. I think, if anything, today this becomes an opportunity for clues to resistance and reversal, and an opportunity to go short here into the orange shaded area. Your risk is pretty well known. The risk is that it breaks above 45, 55 or so and goes higher. So your stop losses, of course, probably would be above these last highs over here on the left-hand side. We're looking at stop loss somewhere 45.80, 45.85 if you decide to go short, and looking to target back down to the top of the red box in the blue zone into the 4300s if you decide to go short here for the pound dollar today. Moving on to the USDCAD, we're kind of stuck in a little period of congestion at the very, very bottom of the downtrend. It's a downtrend. We can't deny that. That's the direction we want to focus on, and we have been focusing in on that for the past few weeks. So if you're selling a downtrend, you really just don't want to sell it at the very, very bottom of the trend. That doesn't make a lot of logical sense to sell it at the lowest price it's been for many, many months. You want it to go up before selling it, or break through that historical support low that we're at right now. Let's zoom it in a couple of times here. Take a look at that. You can see right here between this yellow shaded area that we have as resistance right now, and it was resistance last week, and currently the pink shaded area down here, and that pink zone is 126.65 to 126.30 or so. That is your current support. So if you're going to focus in on going short on the USCAD, which is the direction of the trend, there's really only two reasons to do that. It goes back up to the yellow zone into the 27.50.95 level, or it breaks through the pink shade area. Those are your opportunities to go short, back to resistance or under support. Until it does one of those two things, I think you're watching for clues and evidence to potential support and reversal from the bottom of the trend and the congestion zone down here. So if you're looking for that and willing to take on a little bit more aggressive risk, you could be looking for buy scenarios into the low 126s, targeting the yellow shaded area for the US CAD. Down to the 4-hour time frame, you can really get a handle on what's happening here. I probably would say you could throw in a couple of trend lines here, something like this and something like this. You see this rising little flag pattern or so. Anything underneath there will be your opportunity to go short. Anything up at the top will be an opportunity to go short. I don't think you want to go short at the current market price for the USCAD. Moving on over to the USDJPY. Significant rally higher and significant profit made last week on the US yen. I was able to capture a significant good deal of profit on this pair on buys from a lower level right around the 109 level. I hope that some other traders in our live Prodigy program trade room were able to capture that profit as well. But it's been a long-term downtrend, but evidence and clues down here are showing us potential reversal. You can see it challenging much higher over the past couple of days. Let's zoom it on in here on the daily time frame a couple of times, and you can see, in fact, let's see if we can get in one more time. You can see the significant rise right into the blue shaded area, right into the 111 level. Today opening up a little bit higher than that blue zone and dipping down to support. So that's what we'll be watching for early parts of this week. We want to see it stay above 111. If it can, maybe we look for the continuation of this bullish momentum that began last week, and we look for it to challenge back to 112 or even back up here towards the 113 level into this orange shaded area. So those become our next resistance targets. All that will likely change back to the bear side again if it pressures back underneath here. And I'm going to see if I'll pull it over in a little bit. That purple zone, I'll push it back over in a little while. Back over here into the 110 level would be the downside. So the risk here, at least at the current moment, is a breakdown underneath 111 again. So if you're in a buy from last week, holding profit from the buys from down here at 109, which is where I took the buy down here at 109, then protect that profit. If you're not in the buy, I don't think right now is the best time to do it. Watch for continued support above 111 down to the 4-hour time frame. You can see some support developing there. I would be very cautious, at least at the current moment, until we get some momentum and sentiment for the week. But right now, 111 remains your barrier of support. Let's see if we can grab this purple zone now on the 4-hour time frame and pull it over like that. So if it breaks through 111, we already know where it's going. That's the 110 level down here. If it stays above 111, we're going to target back to the 112s for the US yen this week. Moving on over to the AUDUSD, significant pullback over the past 3 days or so. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, significant pullback. Now we're into support. We studied this, and we'll look at it again in the trade room later today. But back here in June of 2015, between the two vertical blue lines, you see the congestion and support resistance between the green and the yellow shaded area, between the blue lines on the left-hand side. So you bring that over here. That's where we are right now. Zoom it in a couple of times. You can see the blue or the green shaded area, the top of the blue box, right around the 7,700 level, holding as expected as our support right now for the Australian dollar. So that's what we're looking for today. Support and the possibility of a rally back higher in the direction of our current trend, targeting back towards the yellow shaded area. You know what the risk is at this point in time. The risk is it breaks underneath that green zone and our current support barrier. So if you're going to go long, if you're going to buy this currency pair, that's a fine idea to do that. But I think you want to wait for the right opportunity with the lowest degree of risk. Your risk right now, of course, is that it breaks back underneath the green shaded area. How do you reduce that risk? You allow it to dip back down into the green zone, get closer to 7,700 or maybe even dipping underneath it to give you a lower degree of risk. Then you buy it, you target the yellow zone. If you're going to go short, well, there's no reason to go short at the current moment. Only reason I would even consider going short is it breaks under the green zone or goes back to the yellow zone for the Australian dollar this week. Moving on over to the NZD, we've seen a significant pullback on this pair too, challenging right back down into our significant historical resistance and support level, highlighted right around the 68.40, 68.70 level, the blue shaded area, top of the black box. You see the red circle back here, resistance, blue box right here, resistance, green circle right here, resistance. So we know it's been a historical level of support resistance and congestion. Zoom it in a couple of times here on the daily, and you can see right now we're in conflict right now. The market's in a battle going on right around the 68.40, 68.70 level. One of these two directions is going to win. Either the buyers are going to win out and it goes back up in the direction of our most recent trend, which has been, of course, bullish. If the sellers win out and the bears take control of this currency pair, we likely look for the breakdown of 68.40 and the turn lower, once again back down towards the pink shaded area. So right now we're kind of in a conflicted area. Are we going to look for the rise? Are we going to look for the continuation of the fall? I think what we can watch for today is a significant breakout, an open and close above 68.70, likely looking for the targets back higher again, back into our resistance highs. I'm trying to get this orange shaded area right here selected so I can drag that over. That will be our targeted level. There we go, of resistance right back there into that orange shaded area. If it breaks out underneath 68.40, then we look for it to head back down to the 67.60s and 40 level, the pink shaded area. So we need a breakout of this blue zone today. Let's take it on down to the 4-hour time frame, and there we are, right there into that little blue zone. Look at the conflict here going on. Are the buyers going to take it back up? Are the sellers going to take it back down? I think a breakout of that blue shaded area will give us our confidence for at least the first part of this week on the New Zealand dollar.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.